What's up? What's up? What's up? This is Karen with Spiritual Intuitions. How y'all doing today? I hope everybody's doing well. It's a beautiful sunny day out here in Florida. I'm here to do a reading, but before I do that, I just want to talk a little bit about what's going on for me. So I want to let you know first off that I am an intuitive reader. I basically channel. I really don't need cards or any kind of prompts to get the messages. I just use them. They kind of support what it is that's coming through, but I don't follow a standard uh, protocol when it comes to doing readings. I'm strictly intuitive. So that's one. And two, a lot of times I struggle with, am I providing the right type of content for you guys? Is it what you want? Is it something that's useful to you? Because that's my true objective, is to be useful. And I think I'm most useful when it comes to my wisdom, when it comes to relationships. I am a certified life coach, and I do have a lot of experience in terms of coaching and in terms of relationships personally. And so I like to take time to talk about some of those things. And one of the things that had been on my mind today was that I was listening to this lady on YouTube who seems to me, in my opinion, is very good in terms of what she's saying for the most part. But there was a part that I kind of went left on, and it was, she was saying that it makes her mad, and she gets really upset with women who are quote unquote stupid. Well, I don't subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to stupidity. I don't subscribe to getting mad at women because they can't see above the fray. They can't see above their blinders. I know from personal experience, being in an abusive relationship long term for a very long period of time, that there are a multitude of reasons why you stay as a woman in an abusive relationship. And I'm not co-signing that women should do that. What I'm saying is that you leave when you learn your lesson, or you leave when you feel like you're able to leave, not before. And so for somebody to get mad at you because you can't see your lesson doesn't really do any good. There's nothing that could be done there. I'm sure a lot of people over the years that I was in an abusive relationship looked at me and said, "Oh, she's a lost cause. You can't get through." I had relatives try to, school me about my abusive partner, and I was just not hearing it. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to know. I had been previously, which I believe a lot of women who are in abusive relationships have been traumatized way before they got into those relationships. They were traumatized in childhood. I know I was. So it's not a simple thing. And the human mind and protection is something that is really, really very intricate. And you may do things, and it may not seem to others like it's the thing that you should be doing, but it's the thing that you're automatically programmed to do, or it's the thing that you have to do because you're so afraid, based on past experiences, that you feel like this is the better of the options. I felt like I laid my bed, and so I had a lie in it. I felt like I was afraid to trust another man with my children, so I stayed. I'd rather stay with the devil I knew than the one I didn't know, because there's a lot more scarier things out there that you don't know. And that's true. But at the same time, does that justify you staying in an abusive relationship? No, not really. But until you learn what you need to learn, uh, in order to improve, in order to get yourself up out of that kind of a relationship, um, it's something that happens. It's something that I knew I had things to learn, and I knew also if I left that relationship, I just fall into another relationship of the same nature or worse. So I chose to stay, but as I stayed, I also chose to learn. I also chose to educate myself. I took Reiki. I became a Reiki master. I did self-development. I did coaching programs. I did self-improvement programs. I volunteered my time. I was, always trying and reaching for that extra something that would help me to understand how it was that I was supposed to transcend my current position and move out of the abusive relationship. I never was really, wanting it, but at the same time, I didn't feel like I had the ability to, or the support system to get out of it. And as it turns out, my abuser enrolled my family, my brothers, my mother into his bullshit. And so in the end, when I really did, after years and years and years of being in that relationship, when I really did get out, when I decided and I was able to divorce, which took me 10 years and about 4 times serving this man before I could get out of the relationship. It took me 10 years and four times asking the court that I wanted to divorce, but it didn't go through to at the end of 10 years. At any rate, what was I saying? It took me that long in order to navigate uh, in terms of what I felt was safe, and in terms of my confidence, and in terms of my ability to see what was going on. A lot of times I was like putting blindfolders over my eyes for many, many years because I didn't want to see what was going on. And even if people tried to tell me what was going on, I wouldn't listen. I wasn't open because I was afraid. But when I got over that fear, when I healed that fear to a certain extent, I was able to actually do the divorce. And so I'm saying all of that to say that, if you're in an abusive relationship, if you know someone who is, give them grace, because you don't know what God has in store for that person. You don't know why that person is still in that relationship. It may be a blessing that they're still in that relationship, even though it may not look like that. It's not for you to judge. It's for the person in the relationship to come to grips with what's going on and have it be different. You cannot save someone in an abusive relationship. You cannot. Really, it's not fair to judge them. I mean, it's their life. Worry about your own life. If you're doing good and if you got shit going on and it's all good and great, fine. But if you're not, don't worry about people judging you. Don't worry about anything but growing and transforming out of the situation that you're in. If you are that aware, if you have that desire, do that. And that is the most healthiest thing you could do. Because a lot of times, people will come out of one relationship and go right back into another and not even know why, not even know how they got into the second relationship. And it could be worse than the first. So I'm just saying, for me personally, I felt it was better to stay with the devil I knew until I could see myself independently clear of it. And that may not be someone else's way. Other people may have to go through 5 different relationships. Other people may have to go from the frying pan to the fire, and speaking metaphorically in terms of relationships, in order to learn what it is they need to learn, or to become aware of what you need to become aware of in order to do better. You do better when you know better. Nobody is in a freaking abusive relationship because they know better. No, if they knew better, they would do better. They're trying to find their way. And if you can't really just be a safe space for them, a supportive space, then leave them. They'll be okay. God will take care of them, you know. God has them there for a reason. There was a reason I was in the abusive relationship, and there was a reason I got out. And as time went on, I found those reasons. I searched, I strived, I scratched, and I crawled out of the dark hole that I had created in my life. Now, if you ask me, knowing now in hindsight what I know, I would have done it like so much sooner. Matter of fact, I would have never given this motherfucker the time of day. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And so you don't know what you don't know, and you have to, learn. So that's my rant on relationships, abusive relationships for today. And if anything else comes up, I'm going to let you know. But for right now, I'm going to use the Kepler deck, and I'm going to pull some cards to see what Spirit wants to communicate to me today for you guys. Mother, Father, Spirit, call on the great white purpose and light. Okay, prayer said, and here we go. The first card is poverty. Whew. So, poverty, ooh, that's big. As it relates to the topic that I was just talking about leaving, another reason that I stayed in my relationship was because I was not in a position where I could take care of myself. And I knew that if I left, there was a good chance of me going into poverty, which happened. But it's okay. It's okay because I know now that poverty is a much better place for me than being with a person who is mentally challenged, mentally ill, whether it be a psychopath, a narcissist, or what have you. I am in a much better position for leaving my abuser, who was very, very, very much a narcissistic person. So even in poverty, I'd rather be in poverty than to be living with someone who was making over a six-figure income, providing everything, a roof, a beautiful house, nice car, whatever those things were, $10,000 a month in terms of allowance to take care of the bills and use for whatever it was that I wanted after the bills were taken care of. I'd rather be without those resources and independent and healthy than to be walking around on pins and needles and having people backstab me, sleeping with the enemy. I'd rather be bad all by myself. I could do that by myself, and I don't need you or anybody else to help me do that by myself. And matter of fact, I'm much healthier now that I've left. It was the greatest, best choice I could have ever made in my entire life. So poverty, someone or something is about the poverty, and it is the thief. So when I see this card, the poverty and the thief card, I see a lack of ability to create on your own. A lot of abusers, all abusers, especially narcissists, they can't create on their own. They need supply in order to create, and that's why they're so controlling. That's why they're so domineering, and they do whatever they can to keep their supply under control by isolation, by turning people against you, by lying on you, by sabotaging your efforts and your endeavors. They do that. And so they do that because they have a poverty mindset. They're thieves. They don't know how to survive any other way. They have to steal because they can't create it on their own, is their conversation. Even though he didn't have to. I would have given him whatever he wanted had he just been outright honest with me. But the level of vibration of people like that is so low until they don't see that. They don't see any other way other than the dishonest way to get what they want. and they'll do basically whatever they want to do that. It doesn't matter. So it's not in their paradigm, in their way of construct of thinking in order to see anything different. The next card we have is high honors. High honors, I'm going to put at the head of the Celtic cross. The next card is the main male at the bottom, and the past is going to be judgment, adjudication, and then the future is community, near future, how the collective sees themselves is marriage, how others see them as the mature man. So this situation is about a mature man. And what they fear is change, and the outcome is a pathway. So there was adjudication. In my case, that was a divorce. I don't know what in your case that would have been, but something was adjudicated in a court of law. Now, it could be a physical court of law in a 3D, or it could be a spiritual court of law. But at any rate, something was adjudicated, and it had to do with this thievery. So I'm feeling like a situation was not fair in the past that was adjudicated, that there was something under the table that went on where the outcome was not fair to the collective. And so it looked like it was all done correctly, but in fact it was not. And who had a hand in that was the main male, the male that was being possibly going the defendant in this case. And then we have community, and I want to clarify community, sudden wealth in the near future. Please give me another card on that. And that sudden wealth is due to bad health, and that bad health is around the house. And so what I say about that is that in the past, this house had something to do with this court case, and it was in bad health. It was something done that was not right about some property, about some assets that the collective had. And now, in the near future, or even right now, that stuff or whatever was done is being brought back up. There is a revisiting of this situation. There's a coming to light of something that was not seen at the time that allowed this thief to confiscate this property. But right now, it's not looking so good for the thief. Let's go to the pathway in terms of outcome. We have great fortune. So whatever was taken from you, collective, whatever was taken under the table or without lawful rights or illegally, no matter even if it was done in a court of law or not, it's going to bring you great fortune. You're going to have great fortune, and it may be from directly what was stolen, or it may be indirect. I don't know, but there is an official person who has been investigating the situation, who has been investigating everything that went on. They didn't take what went on as face value. They are aware that something was fishy, and they were brought in to look into it, and they understand that there's more to the situation than meets the eye. Again, to clarify the main male, we've got distant horizons. So this main male may have hidden some property or assets on distant shores in foreign countries. I know my ex used to travel a lot all over the place, and he had ample opportunity to create assets abroad. Now, the next card that's coming up is the Lovers, and I'm wanting to put that in the near future along with Child, which I'm immediately getting is there's some illicit business, and it may have to do with child trafficking that went on in some form or another, whether it be just video pictures or actual children being trafficked. I don't know, but there's something to do with the illegal activity and the soiling, the tainting of a child or children. Clarify one more. Expectations. So there's an expectation that this situation is going to be brought to an end. Someone is knowing, I don't know if it's the investigators that have the expectation and that will bring the situation to an end or what, but there is an expectation that this situation is coming to an end. And at the top of the reading, we have toil and labor, and we have honor, the honors card, high honors. So there's going to be somebody who brings justice to the situation for you and for children. For you and for children. Or it could mean that there was some information about a child that a lover had that he chose to, that would have benefited you, that is your right to know, maybe an inheritance or something that you didn't get, and he held back, and that situation is becoming to an end, and it's going to bring you great wealth because it's what you deserve, it's what you should have gotten a long time ago. But this conniving, narcissistic, or psychopathic person, they didn't tell you the truth. They hid shit, and they set it up so that you wouldn't have access to it, but that they would. And Spirit is telling me I can just end this situation. I'm going to pull one more card for the final thought here, and that is journey. You're going to be going on a journey sometime soon, collective, and I'm hearing to foreign lands, possibly a vacation in the sun, you know, and it will be well deserved, and I hope you enjoy and have an awesome time. So this is the reading for today. I hope that some of this resonated with some of you, and that you were able to benefit from the vibrations, from the energy, from the stories that I tell, from the scenarios that I put out. I wish you the best. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel. Have a good one. Bye-bye.